well. As you look at the long rivalry, Virginia, between Martina and Chris, what do you expect to happen this afternoon?
Well, first of all, it's a classic match between two opposite types of game. I mean, we have Chris Evert, who plays the accurate, consistent game and never makes a mistake and stays on the baseline. And then Martina, who is so powerful, has a great first serve, great volleys, but she makes a lot of mistakes as well. So I think that, assuming that they're both playing well, which is what they have been doing in the tournament, that we have a very good match. I think that one of the key factors will be whether Chris Evert's lob is as good as it can be, because I think she has to keep Martina away from the net.
They both look physically as fit as I've ever seen either one of them.
Oh, I think so. I think they both are in very, very good form, mentally and physically.
As successful as she's been, and I've asked you this before, how much longer do you think that Chris will continue to play competitively?
You know, I haven't been able to gauge that. I just haven't been able to get an instinct in mind from the way Chris speaks about it. But I think that she finds now that the challenge has moved from just winning matches into remaining as good as she is. And I was listening to her in an interview the other day. She said that she didn't think she'd completely reached her potential as a tennis player. And I think as long as you feel that way, as long as you think that perfection is still ahead of you, I think you can go on with tennis forever.
How about Martina?
Well, I think Martina has always had it within her reach to be #1 in the world, but I think that sometimes it's a little easy come, easy go. You know, it's almost too easy for her. She's so good. She's left-handed, which has to be a little bit of an advantage with that big serve. And I just feel that she doesn't quite knuckle down and use the talent that she has.
She has seemed to have many years, in the past years, of frustration here in this tournament. Do you think she might have a mental block against winning this championship?
Well, I think she might have had up to now, but I have a feeling that because she hasn't had as much attention this year as a possible winner, that it might serve in her favor. I don't think anybody's going to say, oh, Martina isn't ready, or she isn't fit, or she should win. They've just sort of left her alone a little bit, and I think she's been playing awfully well.
Now, the only time they played this year was on clay, and it was love and love for Chrissy. Is that a mental block, or is that something that's sticking in Martina's mind?
No, I think the more important thing is that they have only played once this year. They used to play so many times. I think playing only once in 1 year means that this match has much more magnetism.
Well, we look forward to a great semifinal between Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert Lloyd, the winner to play Tracy Austin in the final.
Margaret Dupont and all of them. I just love it. I'm very, very thrilled about it.
We got Virginia's opinion while you were on your way back about what she felt the outcome of this match might be. What do you think?
Well, I think Chris will win. She's playing awfully well. She's been very eager. On the other hand, Martina has not lost her serve once in this tournament. So obviously she's serving well and playing very well. I just think Chris is a little bit more sound and a little tougher mentally, and I think she'll figure a way to win.
Which is precisely what Virginia Wade said just a minute ago. John Lloyd, her husband, on the right-hand side of your picture.
I shook Chris's hand as I went out from the ceremony, and I can tell you it was a little bit cool, a little bit clammy, which is normal. If you're not a little bit nervous in this stage, there's something wrong with you.
Navratilova won the toss, has elected to serve first. Ready?
Martina won the toss and will serve.
Play. You take your seats quickly, please. Thank you.
This should be a beauty. No one's going through the other one like whipped cream in this one, I'll tell you that.
No, sir.
But she has made quite a lot of errors, and I think today is going to be the test. She can't afford to make that many errors. There was a tough volley she just made.
Got to be a little bit of nerves, too, don't you think, Virginia, at this stage?
I think so. I think that she has to be nervous. I think she's very up for the match. Both girls are very up for this match.
Looks very crisp.
Love 30.
Take another look at this good net coverage by Navratilova. Pick the spot.
Martina tried that drop shot you were talking about off the backhand.
Tracy had lost 17 games. None of them, of course, had lost a set. The thing I'd like you to watch here is that when Martina makes the drop volley, watch Chris go up and watch where she has that racket right now. She comes forward. Watch her get that racket ready early, and then she's able to pound as much. But if she lobs that ball a little bit higher, better chance to have it be blown off course. Oh, what a smash that time. Excellent.
A tough shot.
That's Chris's strength when Martina closes in so well at the net. Martina feels confident overhead.
That's the classic pattern we'll see during the match. Come back live at 15:40. That's what up like. She put the pressure on. Might come in behind return. Excellent attack off the second serve by that young lady, Martina Navratilova, and then a very crisp volley.
She leads 4-2.
Sunday, great NFL action continues. Shot. Navratilova moves out to a 5-2 lead.
I think Chris, though, can keep the ball deep enough in her backhand.
Fine shot. Take another look. You'll see the good roll off the two-hander. Martina has to slide to the middle. Still set point.
Use.
Do an awful lot for Chris's psychology in this match if she could break through here, having been down 2 set points. She's got a break point.
Shots like that will get it done.
Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
She broke Martina in the first game of this set.
First time Martina lost her serve in this tournament.
She just lost it again. Martina Navratilova leads 5-4 in the first set of this women's semifinal. That's the situation in the first set. Chris Evert Lloyd will serve from the far end. Martina Navratilova here.
Chris had her on the hook, let her off, and got back on.
15-love.
The winner of this meets Tracy Austin tomorrow in the finals, which you'll see right here. What a shot.
Pretty good touch, huh?
What an unbelievable shot.
Chris is not getting her forehand deep when she's in the rally. She's hitting the ball around the service line. That's letting Martina come in as she pleases, and that can be tough. She's got to try to get more depth, try to keep Martina away from the net or make her approach from a deeper position in the court.
40-50.
Virginia, Chrissy has a very reliable overhead, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. In fact, she plays very well from the net altogether. She doesn't have great instinct at the net, but when she knows where the ball's going, she hits the volley terrifically well.
I've always been convinced that that's the only way to play the drop shot is to hit the ball down the line, try to land it deep in the corner. If you go cross court, you pass right in front of the player, your opponent. Either that or if they stay behind the baseline, you can drop it back over the net. Good penetrating forehand by Martina.
40-30.
That's part of Chris's dilemma, as I was mentioning earlier. Stay on her forehand. She hurts you with pace. Go on the backhand. She can approach, and she can also hurt you with the drop shot. Just wide.
Yes.
Martina gets even.
A little wind at Chris's back. A little tougher to drive that ball with authority and keep it inside that baseline. Maybe that's why she's hitting it a little more shallow.
Good first serve. Really hard to tell the direction of the wind. You can see the flags up on top of the stadium, but down on the court, it sort of swirls around.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
You see the forehand now is very high. Open the court. No way Chris could get back to it. It's deuce.
Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
Chris trying to get even at 5-all in the first set. Good high defensive lob by Chris Evert. Lloyd. Martina misses the smash.
A lot of that, I think, Virginia, you could call the wind's responsibility.
Well, I think that those lobs which bounce so high, it's so difficult to make a good smash. This is the stage at which this match could turn, I think.
It's 5-all first set.
15 love.
It might already have turned when Chris broke back. We'll see.
30.
Martina led 5-2 at one time. Now it's 5-all.
Well, at least I think, even if it hasn't done, Chris is already in the match now. Both players are totally immersed. It's so easy to, in Martina's position, to have realized you were 40-15 and sort of double fault at 5-3, which is a major sin. Now this, I think, is an important point for her to play a really solid point. She's 40 love up now. She doesn't want to ever give Chris another second chance.
40-50.
Like that.
That should be it.
Game now.
And in. We'll be back with more of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships after this word from your local station. Preceding message was brought to you by the USTA. Chris Evert Lloyd serving love 15.
It's 5-6 in the first set.
Love 30.
She is now getting herself in trouble. Love 30. Triple set point for Martina Navratilova.
She's been there before. And Evert Lloyd pulled even.
Good shot. And a very deep approach shot by Martina. That was an excellent forehand under pressure. Still 2 more set points for that young lady, Martina Navratilova. That's it.
First set, Navratilova.
It was a struggle, but Martina wins the first set, 7-5. It is, of course, the best 2 out of 3 sets.
7-5. (40-15).
How about that? 108 out of 181 career tournaments been won by Chris Evert Lloyd. She's only lost twice this year.
51-2 the record is.
It's phenomenal.
That one was struck with some authority.
That's too tough. Games are 1-all.
1-all.
Second set.
Right there.
2-1 Evert Lloyd. Navratilova won the first set 7-5. Played extremely well.
A smart play by Chris. She barely got to the drop shot. She couldn't do much with it at all, so she tried to float it down the line, at least give herself time right here to get into the net. She'd give herself time to get positioned. Martina realized that, tried to take it in the air and beat her, and couldn't do it.
15-all. Just wide.
From what I've seen of this match, Pat, I'm going to mention again about the wind, in that it is behind Martina and it carries the ball a little bit more, so it's harder to drive the ball unless you put a little extra top on it and get the good depth. It's sort of risky. Let's see if Martina tries to come in off the return. Smash was out.
It was awfully close.
As you can see, Martina sort of hold her thumb and first finger about an inch or so apart, saying, well, I miss it by an inch.
Didn't argue, though.
She knew it.
(40-30).
A new tactic by Chris, trying to slow things down, hit a couple of floaters. Martina says, finally, I finally made a smash. She has a break point.
Advantage Navratilova.
Darn good forehand by Chris.
Yes.
Approach shot was pretty deep. As quick as Martina is around that net, she had to make a good one. She did.
Advantage Evert.
Awfully good attacking forehand by Martina.
Yes.
Deuce. 2-1 second set.
Chris did not make a deep shot, Virginia. Watch this.
Advantage Navratilova.
This ball now is not deep enough. Just barely hit past the service line. Well, that's deceiving. You can't tell it on the replay, but Martina's ball ticked the net, so again, it's break point. Sensational point. Three times Chris got the lob over Martina's head. Watch the save here. She managed to get to it.
Yes.
Oh. That, I'll tell you, if you see a better tennis point than that, write to me, Way. That was unbelievable.
Can you believe Martina had 3 lobs and Chris had 2? So.
That last point should answer any question about how fit these players are.
And what a giant point it was. Again, it's break point for Martina. That was a break point, that terrific point they just played. See if Martina's got enough steam left to come into the net on this one.
She does.
Talk about thread the needle. That, I think, hit right on the sideline.
On the outside of the sideline. Deuce.
Chris has hit 3 very good passing shots down the forehand sideline. Martina maybe has to cover that line a little bit more. Oh, what a good shot.
Sensational backhand underspin by Martina. You see Chris attack here cross court. Looks like she's in pretty good shape. Martina's out of position. No answer by Chris Evert Lloyd. So again, it's break point for Martina. Another sensational point. The wind held that lob in. Look at this half volley, drop shot. Chris gets to it, tries to float it back and buy some time, and Martina knocks off the volley. Brought the crowd to their feet again, Patrick.
I'll tell you what, there have been some critical columns in the local newspapers and some critical comments about the women's tennis so far in this championship. But boy, this one will put all that to rest.
That whole game was filled with terrific points. The caliber of tennis was very high. Now, to be quite fair, there have been an enormous number of really good women's matches on the outside courts. It's just the way it goes. You get the bad ones inside.
It couldn't have been blown around too much. Chris had been going up the line on the return off the forehand. She went cross court and fooled Martina. So again, it's now break point for Chris Evert Lloyd. That was a let.
That's rough, isn't it?
I don't know what she got to complain about, regardless of having thought she heard one earlier. That was definitely a let.
Upset her. Third double fault by Martina. Chris Evert Lloyd's 3-2 ahead in the second set.
Good half volley. Chris did a good job there. Got the ball over Martina's head. Looked like she's in good shape. The close end here have stayed in because the wind's in her face.
Couldn't quite get back. So Chris Evert Lloyd moves out to a 4-3 lead in set number 2.
Chris looked up and said, oh, She sort of pursed her lips like saying, man, oh man, I needed that one. Chris did not do much once she got to the drop shot. She did make a very good shot, but she made a very crisp volley.
Right back at Martina. Her advantage.
She laid her hand back, kept the wrist firm. That was a giant game in my estimation for Chris Evert Lloyd, who now leads 5 games to 3 in the second set. Talk about that footwork. Watch how she takes a little steps, transfers her weight from the back leg to the front leg, dances, gets set up, weight forward. Now we come back to live action.
Love.
36 first serves in for Martina, and she won 21 of those points.
Good, strong first serve. Evert Lloyd leads 5 games to 4 in the second set.
Don't forget, tonight at 11:30, we'll have the highlights of both of these semifinal matches. Tracy Austin winning the opener over Barbara Potter, 6-1 to 6-3. And, of course, this match has featured some of the finest action I've ever seen in women's competition. Let's go back upstairs now. Pat Summerall of Virginia Wade.
Thank you, Brent. You look very comfortable down there.
I think you'll see Martina trying to come in every time off the second serve this game, trying to get that break back.
She comes.
There's Chris, 57 first serves in. She won 30 of those points. Crowd upset. They thought Martina's volley was wide on the sideline, but Chris didn't argue. She did take a quick look. Second serves, 19. Won 9 of those points.
Love 15.
First service.
Chris did not say a word about that.
She seldom does.
Ball on the sideline.
Virginia, that's what you were talking about. Chris is not as reluctant to come to the net. She got a short ball and came on in, made a good volley. 15 all.
I think she sort of grits her teeth and says to herself that I've got to get into the net, and she does that more. I mean, she should. I mean, she's competent up there.
That's wide.
Martina in a little bit of a rush to get up there. She rushed that approach shot.
2 of the best in the world playing right here in the semifinals.
Martina's showing Chris that she's going to run round and hit a forehand. Crosscourt forehand.
30 all.
Chris is not getting any first serves in this game. That's really making it that much more difficult for her. Martina always going to try to take advantage of the second serve, particularly if it's not a very good second serve. Set point for Chris Evert Lloyd. And her mother
40, 30.
anxiously watching.
Martina hasn't seemed to caught on that Chris is hitting all her passing shots down the line on the forehand. Except that one.
Oh.
Set point, you stretch out for a low backhand volley, catch the tape, you'll see it right here.
Use.
Again, a short ball by Chris. This was an excellent shot. Look at there. Catches the tape and bounces over. Come back live at deuce.
Games are 5-4, second set.
Again, the set point.
I think Martina hesitated between making an approach shot and making that little short drop shot.
Those service percentages don't really tell the whole story. And Chris Evert Lloyd serving with a service break at 3-2 in the third and final set. Hope we can just concentrate on the tennis from now on. Long.
15 love.
I mentioned earlier those percentages are a little deceiving because Martina tries to hit her first serve harder more frequently. Chris is really spinning it, trying to get the first serve in and not try to do so much with it. One down the line. You see Chris already moving cross court. She was there early. Made a good shot up the line with some safety. It's 30 love. What a super play by Martina. She was trapped by Chris's shot on the baseline.
40-15.
What's this now? She spin all the way around backwards. Look at that. Another deep one by Chris. Come back live at 40-15. First serves a fault.
A little bit long. Second double fault by Chris. 40-30.
A couple of measured passing shots by Chris Evert Lloyd. Martina's taken some ribbon out of the back of her hair. Obviously, Martina can't afford another service break. She's trailing 2-4. This is a pretty vital game right here.
But it was from the side last time that she lost her serve, and she really played a rather loose game, which I think really cost her, might have cost her the set. That was at 1-all.
A belated let call.
Martina saying it went over by at least a foot.
Getting 2 serves now.
Chris nods approval.
Play a let, so you play it over. That's a break and away for Martina. Now it's not.
Double. In the event we don't have time to corner the players after this match is over, both Chris and Martina will be on the highlight show tonight at 11:30 Eastern Time.
That was an excellent volley. A lot of authority on that backhand volley.
15-all. That one was not so excellent.
Virginia, would you say that, or which volley would you say is stronger of Martina's?
Well, I think that she hits really well off the volleys if they're slightly far away from her body, so she can reach for them. She likes to almost lunge at the volley. She gets into a little trouble when she's cramped on the volley or when it's low, which is always the very difficult volley for anybody.
Back at 30-all now.
But it's sort of a difficult way to play against her, that you keep the ball close to her. You know, you sort of, everybody tells you to hit the ball away from your opponent.
Missed the volley. Boy, that would have been a break point. What a key shot that was. Martina got out of it.
30.
40-30.
That's a good serve in. And so in the third and final set, Chris Evert Lloyd leads 4-3. She won the first.
They waited as long as they could to do this. This young man just resisted, so they're bodily taking him out. Chris and Martina said, we're not going to go out and play anymore until this is settled, till we get that guy out of here. So
most of the crowd looking back up where that disturbance is going on, but there he goes.
Capacity house, Patrick. As you mentioned, record crowds every day. We salute Tournament Director Bill Talbert and his committees. Done a fantastic job as usual.
And salute that committee that just escorted the rowdy out.
Quiet, please.
Give him a parachute to drop onto the wall tower.
Chris Evert has a service break, serving at 4-3 in the final set, trying to get to the finals to play Tracy Austin tomorrow.
Martina just rips that forehand.
Martina knows that Chris is trying to get all her first serves in, so Chris isn't doing a whole lot with the first serve, so she's walking up to take that one even early.
I think when Martina's down, she will try to play a little more conservatively, but also muscle her way if she can. You'll see her.
Another winner by Martina.
Love 30.
Love 30.
Triple break point for Martina. A reasonable approach shot. This volley opened up the court. No way Chris could get over to cover the ball as we come back live at Love 40.
Fourth straight first serve Evert has gotten in. Evert Lloyd, I should say. Just too good.
Sensational game by Martina. He breaks serve and gets even at 4, all final set. She had 4 winners in that game.
She played a fantastic game, and in her face she looks much more into it now, and as if she's recouped everything.
4 all.
Good return of a very good serve.
Love 50.
Wide.
15 all.
Pressure time, 4 all in the final set. Out.
15-30.
And it's double break point for Chris Evert Lloyd.
$15-40.
Service ace number 5.
Martinez served 5 doubles as well. Chris has not served any aces, and she served 2 double faults.
Still break point.
This can be a tough second serve.
And Chris will come in?
No. Just long. Oh, that was close.
Wow.
Oh, when you think about that shot, what that could mean. Again, it's break point for Chris as her mother applauds.
Advantage, Evert Lloyd.
And it's been a good match.
Yes.
That's wide.
Advantage.
Martina has the advantage. Trying to move ahead 5-4 in the final set. That's what these big tournaments are all about, Patrick.
And she does. Now we'll be back at Flushing Meadow in just a moment. Chris Evert Lloyd to serve. Down 4-5, final set.
Super forehand. That set it up right there. This was pretty simple. Notice how Chris closed in to get as close to the net as possible so she couldn't miss that volley. 15 love. Oh, Chris doesn't like that call. She thought the ball was out over the baseline.
So did the crowd. It's 15-all, nevertheless.
Right there. You be the judge.
Looked right on the line to me.
15-all.
So.
It's out.
15-30.
You can feel the tension.
Time is fast running out for one.
Martina had a chance with that first volley. She didn't make a good enough volley. Gave Chris a second chance.
30-all.
Boy, I'd hate to be staying back having to make all those pressure shots all the time. That is tough. And it's match point for Martina Navratilova.
30-40.
Martina's never won this tournament. Chris has won it 5 times.
Unbelievable. Martina made a smart play. Came right in as she's been doing. Chris very coolly made the passing shot. 1 match point save.
Advantage.
Third double fault, and what a time.
Guess she's human after all.
So Martina Navratilova will play Tracy Austin tomorrow in the women's final. U.S. Open tennis coverage starts here at CBS at 12 noon. For Tony Trabert and Virginia Wade, Pat Summerall saying so long from Flushing Meadow.